The final human outpost on planet Virilia, 9, was falling. Flames painted the alien sky orange, and the air smelled of burnt metal and ozone. Commander Elias Kane stood among the ruins, his uniform torn, his pulse loud in his ears. Above him, ships from the Valari Empire streaked across the heavens, 1,000 glowing specks, merciless and beautiful. Humanity's war against the Valari had lasted 5 years. 5 long, bloody years. Every planet they'd tried to defend had fallen. Every stronghold had been crushed. And now, it seemed, the last bastion of humankind was next. Only one thing remained. The weapon. Elias looked down at the object in his hands. A small, silver cylinder barely the size of a torch. It looked almost ridiculous. Fragile, harmless. Nothing like the massive plasma rifles used by the army. It had been designed by a dying scientist who whispered only one instruction before he passed. Aim at the sky and believe. It sounded insane, but Elias had nothing left to lose. The ground shook violently. An explosion split the wall beside him, and a squad of Valari soldiers marched in, tall and sleek, their skin shimmering like liquid mercury. At their head walked General Serafina, the alien commander, beautiful, terrifying, and utterly cold. She stopped a few feet from him, her glowing eyes scanning the small device in his hand. Then she laughed, a melodic, echoing sound that filled the broken ruins. "That?" she said, pointing with a silver-clad hand. "That's your great human weapon?" Elias raised his chin. "You've destroyed everything we built. You've killed millions. This," he held it up, "is the last thing standing between you and our extinction." Her lips curved into a smile. How tragic and how small. The Valari soldiers chuckled behind her, their voices like ripples of glass. "Human arrogance is always amusing," Serafina continued. "You think victory comes from faith and courage. But this universe belongs to power." Elias gritted his teeth. "Then let's see whose power lasts." Before she could react, he pressed the trigger. A pulse of blue light erupted, silent, blinding, and pure. It wasn't a beam or a blast. It was something else entirely, a wave. It rippled outward, touching everything, flowing through air, metal, and skin alike. The Valari soldiers froze mid-step. Their weapons fizzled. Their armor flickered like holograms. Serafina's eyes widened. What have you?" Her words dissolved into static. And then, silence. Every alien within sight simply stopped moving. The great ships above ceased firing. The sky itself seemed to hold its breath. Elias stood trembling, the weapon still glowing faintly in his hand. Then a faint hum filled the air, deep and rhythmic, like the heartbeat of the planet itself. When he woke, the battlefield was quiet. Smoke drifted across the plains. The stars above burned brighter than before. Around him, the alien soldiers lay motionless, their bodies intact but lifeless, as if their energy had been drained away. The weapon had fallen from his hand, its light now dim. From the shadows of a ruined structure came a faint movement. Elias raised a sidearm, but then froze. It was her, General Serafina, alive. Her armor was damaged, her silver skin faintly scorched, but her eyes still glowed. Softer now, less cruel. "You survived," Elias said. "So, did you?" she replied quietly. "That thing, what is it?" He shook his head. "I don't know. The scientist who made it called it a quantum resonator. Said it wouldn't kill. Just reset." "Reset?" He glanced at the motionless soldiers. "Looks like it shut down every Valari system connected to your hive network, including your weapons. Maybe your minds, too." Serafina stepped closer, unarmed, her voice almost human. "You've destroyed my army." "I didn't want to destroy anyone," Elias said. "I just wanted it to stop." For a long time, neither spoke. The fire crackled softly between them, reflected in her strange eyes. "You should finish me," she said finally. "It's what victors do." "I'm not a victor," Elias murmured. "Just a survivor." Days passed. The human resistance emerged from bunkers, disbelieving the silence that had replaced war. Across the planet, Valari technology failed. Their cities darkened. Elias became a reluctant symbol, the man who ended the invasion. Yet peace felt fragile. Serafina remained in custody, held in a reinforced chamber at the base. Despite everything, Elias visited her often. Something about her haunted him. "Why talk to me?" she asked one day. "I led the slaughter of your people." "Because I need to understand," he replied. "Why you came here. Why we had to fight." Her expression softened, a trace of sorrow flickering across her face. "The Valari were dying," she said. "Our suns collapsed one by one. We searched for a new home. When we found Earth's colonies, we saw your kind as unfit, too emotional, too fragile." She looked up at him. "We thought we were saving ourselves. Now we're nothing." Elias leaned forward. "You said the universe belongs to power. Still think that's true?" Serafina smiled faintly. "Maybe not power, maybe survival." That night, Alarms blared through the base. Elias rushed to the control room. "Sir," shouted the technician, "the weapon's energy reading. It's rising again. It's reactivating on its own." "What? How?" "No idea, but it's drawing power from everything. Our systems, the atmosphere, even the planet's magnetic field." Elias's blood ran cold. He sprinted to the containment vault. The small cylinder floated above its stand, humming violently, glowing with blinding blue light. As he stepped closer, a voice echoed to the room. Familiar, distant, almost human. "You aimed at the sky and believed." Elias froze. It was a scientist's voice. The weapon's light flared and the world shifted. He was no longer in the vault. He stood in a white void, infinite and still. In front of him appeared a shimmering form. Neither man nor woman, alien nor human. "You used the resonator," the being said. "You connected both species to the same frequency." "What are you?" Elias whispered. "The memory of those who built your universe," it replied. "You've awakened something ancient, unity through destruction." Elias shook his head. "I just wanted the war to stop." "And it did, but peace has a price." The being's form fractured like glass, its voice growing faint. "Now both races are bound. Their fates will rise and fall together." The void collapsed. He woke in his quarters, gasping. The weapon was gone. His hands glowed faintly blue, the light pulsing with his heartbeat. He ran to Seraphina's chamber. She looked up as he entered, and her eyes glowed the same shade of blue. "What did you do?" she whispered. "I don't know," Elias said, "but I think we're connected now." Their shared glow pulsed in rhythm, a faint hum echoing between them. Across the world, reports came flooding in, human and Valari survivors both feeling strange surges of energy, dreams of light, visions of each other's memories. The resonator hadn't just ended the war. It had fused their consciousnesses. Humanity and the Valari could no longer destroy one another, because they were now one. Months later, the world began to heal. Forests regrew over battlefields, and new cities rose, built by human hands and Valari energy combined. Elias and Seraphina worked side by side, leading the reconstruction. The hatred that once defined them had turned into something neither could fully name. One evening, as twin moons rose over the horizon, she turned to him. "When I first saw you," she said softly, "I thought your weapon was pathetic. I laughed because I thought you were small. But it wasn't your weapon that defeated us." Elias smiled faintly. "No, it was your faith," she said. "You believed in something beyond yourself. We never did." They stood in silence, watching the stars. The war that had nearly destroyed two worlds had become the bridge between them. Above, the sky shimmered, faint blue veins of light dancing across the cosmos, remnants of the resonator's pulse. It was as if the universe itself remembered that single act of defiance, that spark of hope. Elias looked at her. "So was it worth it?" She smiled, eyes glowing like twin suns. "Ask me again in 1,000 years." But sometimes, late at night, Elias still heard a whisper in his mind, a voice that wasn't his own, speaking softly to the shared link between species. "You aimed at the sky and believed." And every time he heard it, he smiled, because against all odds, the smallest weapon in the universe had done what armies never could. It had made peace.